thewellnesscouch.com, streaming wellness into your lives.
Welcome to 100 Not Out, featuring your hosts Dr. Damien Christoph and Marcus Pearce.
Hello and welcome to 100 Not Out, a weekly show dedicated to helping you master the art of aging well. My name is Marcus Pearce and I am here with King of the Kiwis himself. He is the founder of The Wellness Couch and The Wellness Guys. He's Dr. Damien Christoph. Hello, bro.
Oh, hey, bro. How you going? Are you sweet as?
I am sweet as, but the reason why you are king of the Kiwis is because you are so excited that we have a Kiwi guest on 100 Not Out.
Bro. When I saw this video, in fact, I watched this video sitting on the toilet. I did. And I was so excited. I thought, I got to watch it. Amber's going, what are you doing? I go, watching this really cool video. And so...
People want to know what videos is Damien watching whilst he's on the toilet. Let me tell you what Damien is watching whilst he's sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
Damien is watching the world record holders, the world title holders, the Guinness World Record holders for the oldest hip-hop group in the world. The Hip Operation crew range from 71 to 96 years of age. They've got us covered well and truly.
Well and truly. They might get a standing ovation in Ikaria.
We might have to bring them to Ikaria.
Oh, wouldn't that be good?
But the Hip Operation crew would not be in existence today if it wasn't for an incredible woman by the name of Billie Jordan. It is a very warm 100 Not Out welcome all the way over in New Zealand to the incredible Billie Jordan. Billie, welcome to 100 Not Out.
Oh, thank you. It's so good to talk to you guys. Thanks so much. What a funny introduction. That's lovely. I'm so honoured.
Oh, kia ora. It's so good to have you on here. Seriously, I fell in love with the clip and then I went to, research more, flicked it through to Marcus because it was on Facebook and everyone loves a bit of facey. And so, I sent it off to Marcus, said, check this chick out. And he's going, oh, that's awesome. And I said, we've got to interview her. And so here we are today, wanting to find out more about what you've been doing. I remember the earthquakes. My brother was married the day before the earthquakes went mental, and I had a practice in New Zealand. I was practicing, and I had a weight loss business in New Zealand, and we were based in Christchurch, so we lost all that. We were in an area that had lots of that stuff that came up from the ground, and
I didn't know that.
It's no good.
Liquefaction.
Liquefaction, yeah, that's what it was called, and we lost the whole lot, so it was all toasted. So it was very, very difficult, and you stole victory from the jaws of defeat. You were like a phoenix and rose out of the ashes and started up this thing and just doing great things.
What actually happened in the earthquake with you, Billie? From what we can gather, you were injured in the earthquake, but we don't really know how badly. And from what we know, this was the beginning of your shift into the Hip Operation crew.
Yeah, I was, because I was in PR, which, as you know, it's pretty shallow job to do. So then and then I was living in Christchurch. I just moved there 5 weeks earlier, and I bought a house 3 days before the earthquake.
No way.
As you do. And and then I was just getting lunch and in a Subway sandwich thing in the central city, that, what do you call it? That, what do you call those
Subway.
things? Yeah, that franchise.
Yeah, Subway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Got it first try.
Did you? Sorry, and it's just so irrelevant to me. I just.
How's your fish oil going?
And then and then the earthquake struck. A couple of people I was with, I didn't know them, but they were crushed to death by falling buildings, and I was lucky because I was just trampled on by everybody trying to get out, and so. Getting out, that was, it was just raining down huge big Omoro stone. So I was lucky to, just be this doormat, dong, 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 dong.
Oh my gosh. So you got trampled.
Yeah, and then I smashed my knee up because you're just thrown around like a rag doll. 1 minute you're on this wall, the next minute you're on that wall, up the ceiling, da-da-da. You can't, this whole thing with go and find a doorway, and
Brace
you
yourself.
you can't go where you want to go. You're thrown around because it's twice the G-force as a rocket being launched into space.
Really?
That was the force of the earthquake. Yeah, so you can't. I mean, you've got no say in the matter. So, but during that time, I thought, oh no, this great. This is it. I'm dying in Subway of all things. I had a shitty job. When you move towns, you just get whatever job. So I had this shitty job in the Christchurch City Council. And thought, great, I'm going to be called ex-city councillor. Member of it's like, oh, this is tragic. If I die like this. So anyway, I survived it, and then because I worked for the council, you had to work in the search and rescue, like the civil defence and emergency headquarters straight away, because that's your civilian sort of role comes out. So, so I just had to sort of crack on and help the community and do stuff, whatever you could do really to help. But in that moment, I thought, if I survive this earthquake, I'm gonna move to Waiheke Island, which is in the North Island, just about 45 minutes by ferry from Auckland.
Second most beautiful place on the planet.
Behind Melbourne?
No, there's got to be somewhere else, but I don't know. They're so amazing. It really is beautiful.
It is. It's really
maybe Bonnie Doon.
I mean, it's just just a bit better than Bonnie Doon. It had no tall buildings and stuff, so that to me, and it was on a different piece of land, so it felt like a safe place to go because I already had post-traumatic stress disorder from a very abusive background, childhood, and so that gives you a fear of death, and you're thinking you're going to be constantly killed all the time. So that just sort of re-triggered that post-traumatic stress disorder. So what are you doing with your hand there, Marcus? You're doing.
I'm champing at the bit to ask you a question. I'm kind of launching into the screen, aren't I? So, could you mind if I ask this question? Because I'm just so curious here. You're constantly living in fear of death, post-traumatic stress disorder, and we'll ask about that because I have heard you in your TED talk about this. But you mentioned earlier, and I find this fascinating about human beings, when the SHIT hits the fan in the biggest possible way, and we're talking an earthquake, your life kind of flashed in front of you, and almost like whilst it was all happening, you're like, if I'm going to die as a local councillor in the subway of all places, that's no way to go out. So if I live, I'm going to do something remarkable with my life. From what I gather, you had no experience as a dance instructor before you started the Hip Operation Crew. So how does the epiphany go from I'm going to do something with my life to I'm going to form the oldest hip hop group in the world? Like, I think it's absolutely remarkable.
Well, it's straightforward from my perspective. It's a natural progression,
just
isn't
join
it?
the dots, Marcus,
Yeah. What's wrong with you? It's obvious to everyone else, Marcus.
I need my fish off.
Get onto the program. It's because it's so easy to work that one out.
God, I mean, I'm going to obviously have to spell it out.
Maybe if she was, in a chicken shop, then that might have been easy to work it out. But
So post-traumatic stress disorder, so fear of death, gonna die, got to do something different. My job's shallow. I'm embarrassed if I die like this, right? Mortified. So I get out of there, and then I go to Waiheke Island, and then I relate to people in my state of mind, which is waiting for death, thinking your life's sort of over, and feeling sort of lost and disconnected from society, which was the old people. So I arrived on the island, no job, didn't know anybody, fully in Loserville, completely.
That's north of Christchurch.
Is it near Bonnie Doon?
It's ages from Bonnie Doon.
Ages from Bonnie Doon. And then, so I relate to that. And then I thought, well, okay, they're thinking they're just going to die around the corner. They can't see a future, just the past. So same with me. I couldn't imagine a future. I just thought I was going to die all the time. And so I thought, well, let's do something about it. And maybe we should just celebrate life and go out dancing. That would be a cool way to go. So I wanted to, connect, I suppose, with my community. So I just drove around in my van. I had this black van, drove around looking for old people, and said, so initially I thought I'll set up a flash mob because, I'd seen them on YouTube,
Yeah.
and thought that would be cool, like set up the world's oldest flash mob, which is what I did. So I needed to get these people, so I drove around the island in my black van,
with a couple of bags in the back.
Yeah, and goes like, "Are you?"
Hoods over them.
That's right. It was a stealth operation. Highly organised. So I just knocked on doors, retirement villages, medical centres, put up flyers, went up to anyone with grey hair, said, "Do you want to?"
Or no hair. Or no hair.
Or no hair.
Yeah, I could have got the knock. hey, oh, sorry.
I did insult some people. They're like, "I'm only 50." I was like, yeah, and I didn't know. I mean, I've got no experience in dance. Two left feet, and no experience with old people, like none whatsoever. So I didn't know, like, what are these old people like? Because I didn't have any experience. So I had this very stereotypical idea of old people. So I knew that they liked like knitting. Well, that's that's what I thought. They like knitting, so that's where they're going to be. Like, because I'm trying to find these old people, and there was some at the RSA, there was some at other things. So I thought, right, balls of wool are like catnip to old people, and there's a craft shop on the island. It sells balls of wool. So if I park myself out there, I'm like, sweet, right? So I was in there, and I told the owner, look, this is what I'm after. Get me some of these old people when they come in. And she said, well, none have come in today because obviously it's a little population. So I was quite disheartened. So I just sat there in my van, and the word had got around like this crazy chick, just come on the island. She's going around accosting people in this black van. And what the hell is she talking about? So I just thought, well, I have to have a disguise. So I had dark glasses on, I had a hat, and I just sat in this black van, with my engine revving, waiting for someone to go in and buy some wool. And then anyway, I was just about to leave. I was so disheartened. Then the shopkeeper came out with one of them by their collar, this 92-year-old guy, and says, I got one. So that was my first one.
What was his or her name?
His name was Peter Davey, and he's 92, and he's a local church deacon. And he was like, what on earth? What's going on? Like, get in the back. So I got them. I got actually 80 of them. Caught them, 80 of them,
Wow.
80, and then did a big flash mob downtown Auckland. They really loved it, and I could see their sort of the change in their spirit, And then I decided, well, I'll set it up as a club. So I did that for about 4 more months, and then I noticed how they were being treated by everyone else in their family or friends or other thing, and everybody was treating them like they didn't have any expectations of them. They would tell them what they can't do all the time. Sit down, here's a cup of tea. Yeah. You can't do this, you can't do that. And then they would act like that and go, yeah, well, I can't do this and can't do that. Yeah, and right. It's like, is this it? Is this what you do? Like, you spend the last third of your life, a whole third of your life retired, having everybody treat you like you can't do anything, and you're not supposed to have goals, long-term things. Nobody has expectations of you, which is incredibly demoralizing, whether you're 5 years old or 95. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to change that, and I'm going to have really high expectations of them and set a really impossible goal for them to aim for, and also at the same time reduce that stigma of aging. So I thought, well, what's the last thing people expect old people to do? Because everyone's seen an old person dance, and there's old people dance groups, and there's old people choirs and young at heart and blah, blah. Everybody's seen old people do that stuff. It's not, it's not even interesting. So, and it doesn't do anything yet reinforce those stereotypes.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares? People will keep sending me these things of, oh, here's an old person doing some dancing in the street, ballroom dancing. Well, I mean, really, just save your money. Don't send me an email. But anyway, so I thought, right, hip hop. Nobody expects old people to do hip hop. the Mount Everest of hip hop is the World Hip Hop Championships. So I said, right, you're now a hip hop dance group. I had no idea about hip hop, of course. I'm
Of course, like we shouldn't join the dots to think that you could actually do this, right?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So I just read some books about hip hop and then got on YouTube and looked at some clips on how to dance. So I didn't have any mirrors because, of course, they're smashed in an earthquake. So I had to wait till nighttime, and I've got these ranch sliders, which you can probably see behind me. So at night, the reflection of myself and my ranch sliders was my, how I could, moonwalk across,
Oh, this is remarkable.
Look at you go.
So-
You've got the moves.
I've got the moves. So I learned that, and then I said, yeah, right, okay, got them all together. You're a hip-hop dance group now. I'm going to tell you what hip-hop is in a minute, but the goal is in 8 months' time, you'll perform at the World Hip-Hop Championships on the other side of the world in Las Vegas. So
How'd you go? How did they go over there?
they were brilliant. Standing ovations. They had to go twice. 10,000 screaming young people, the best hip-hop dancers in the world. 9 of them had incontinence pads, which were thankfully necessary. So we had 27 went there.
Yeah.
15 of them aged in their 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
5 had dementia, quite advanced dementia. 1's blind. 6 wear hearing aids. 4 disability, 4 what do you call it, mobility aids.
So wheelchairs on the plane.
No,
they're walkers.
the walkers, yeah.
Walkers. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Zimmer
wheel
frames.
and what do you call it? Walking sticks. Blah blah blah. So a lot of them can't even hear the music or whatever. So I thought it would just be a part-time thing, but I just had to stop working for like 9 months to get them ready. It takes about 18 months to teach them a 4-minute dance routine.
Wow.
So a lot of dance teachers can't hack it. I've had some dance teachers and they just can't do it because they have a different yardstick.
This is a very unique life purpose, though, yeah? What you're dedicating your life to is not the type of purpose that I suppose a regular dance teacher would commit their energies and their level of patience. Because whatever our life purpose is dedicated to, we have to practice a lot of patience in, yeah?
Absolutely.
To think 4-minute routine takes a year and a half. That is an incredible level of dedication. And I'm kind of guessing, as my wife Sarah and I often talk about, I'm guessing you're probably eating tuna and corn out of a can for a fair bit of time because this isn't really bringing in the big bucks. I mean, you're not charging...
The corn, you would have bought the corn on the side of the road. I don't think it would have been the cans.
No.
Let's play.
Like, this is... We interview a lot of people with incredible life purposes.
Absolutely.
But in terms of the core of humanity, this is one of the more remarkable life purposes I've actually come across.
And selfless.
Oh, that's in the most incredible, selfless way.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't. Obviously, it's really rewarding. Just like any teacher, you see your students grow, and I mean, it's incredible the change in these people because I will treat them like an equal. I have really high expectations of them. We don't have a dance studio. We used to have a community hall, but we can't afford that. So we just rehearse in the street, and we have buses going past and forklifts and stuff, and it's street, because people think, people need all this comfort and stuff. Well, they don't. You've put them on that. They are quite happy to be dancing the street. They're resourceful people. They've been through wars.
Yeah.
They really don't care. Give them some credit, and I have these really high expectations. They can't just go and say after half an hour dancing, I just need a rest and have a glass of water. No, are you kidding me? I'm not going to treat you like an invalid. So they know in their week that there is going to be, depends on what we're doing. Sometimes it's 4 times a week we rehearse. Sometimes it's just twice a week. But they know for that 2-hour period, they're going to be treated like an equal. They're going to be treated how they were when they were 20. And that, none of them, this has been going for 4 years I've been doing this now. So none of them are dead. If they get sick, they check out of hospital really quickly because they want to get on their emails. They want to attend rehearsal. one had a heart attack. He's like back at rehearsal like 5 days later. Another one broke her pelvis. She was back at rehearsal 6 weeks later. So they do still have their age-related illnesses, but the recovery time is crazy. And they don't fall. People say, "What's your safety thing?" I don't have one. You know what I mean? Because we have a rule: if you die during a performance, that's it. You're out of the team. You're done. We just step over you and we carry on dancing, and we sort you out later.
That's right. Well,
when we went to Las Vegas,
focus.
I had to investigate, cost of cremation versus bringing a body back, and it's like they have to come back in a gas chamber. It's like a dangerous good bringing a carcass back. So I had to look at cremation. There's like two choices in America for cremation. One's so many Fahrenheit and a Ming vase, imitation Ming vase. Another one's like bring your own Tupperware and it's like $1 and it's not not Fahrenheit.
Take decor, wouldn't you? You wouldn't get Tupperware.
So everybody
Pyrex glass. You might go the glass option.
So everybody bought an ice cream container with them
for themselves.
Yeah, for their ashes.
That's unbelievable.
Was it Buller or Peters or?
No, it'll be over there.
Tip top.
Yeah, jelly tip. Yeah, it'd be,
yeah. Hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey. Because that's what they were doing.
Billy, we're having too much fun. Are you happy to stick around and make this a double episode?
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, fabulous. We need to wrap this up for this episode, folks. Hope you have enjoyed so much of Billie Jordan. We're going to make this a double episode, so hang in there for next week for another edition of 100 Not Out. Damo, thank you again for your wonderful questions and wisdom. I know you're loving...
I said nothing.
I know. Oh, it's just great to listen.
This Billie chick, she talks. She keeps going.
If you've been listening to this but you want to watch the fun we're having, make sure you check us out on YouTube. Just search for 100 Not Out and Billie Jordan. You can go learn more about Damien Christoph at damienchristoff.com. Go to marcuspierce.com.au to find out more about myself, and go to thewellnesscouch.com where you can check the entire range of wellness podcasts available. Until next week, may the rest of your life be the best of your life.
This has been a production of thewellnesscouch.com. Check us out on Facebook and join in the conversation on facebook.com/thewellnesscouch. Subscribe to each show on iTunes and check us out on Twitter. The Wellness Couch, streaming wellness into your lives. Whilst the Wellness Couch presenter endeavor to provide accurate and helpful information to their listeners, these podcasts cannot take into account individual circumstances and are not intended to be a substitute for health and medical advice from a qualified health professional. You should always seek the advice of a qualified health professional before acting on any of the information provided by any of the Wellness Couch podcasts.